Hey guys, so basically the new Muse album's right around coming out right now. I know it's out in the UK, and it'll be out in the US I think tomorrow, because today's the 7th that I'm recording this video. So I've been running through the album, just learning a couple cool riffs. I don't really have any like full songs learned or anything, but I figure it'd be cool to kind of show you guys some of the riffs on there and show you how to play them, because some of them are really cool. So all of them so far are in drop D, but if it's not in drop D, then I'll specify later. This first riff is from Psycho. The song's been out for a little while, so some of you probably know how to play this already. But it's pretty easy, and yeah, like I said, it's in drop D, and it goes like this. I missed that note. So it's really nothing too crazy. You're just doing an open D note, and then you're going in between a 3 and a 5 on that same D string, and then you're doing a 3 again, and then you're going on that 5, but you're bending up just slightly, maybe like a quarter note. So it's just a little bit of an accent. So you kind of get the idea there. And then you just repeat it again. And then that ending part is actually a 17 on the G string and then a 15 on the D. I kind of do just like a muted note in between. So it's like, you can kind of hear me just like scraping against it. But yeah, I think it sounds pretty close to the song. Let me show you full speed again. That goes into the second part of the song, which is like the second part of the chorus, I guess. And so it's basically just turning those into power chords. And then you're going, so it's basically an open, and then 3 and 5 like before. But then it's going from a 3 to the 4, 5, 6. And that next part of the chorus kind of goes like, kind of screwed that up a little bit. No, it's not exactly perfect, but it'll certainly get you in the right direction. So what that's doing is, like I said, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it goes up to that second part of the chorus. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So that's a 7, 8, and then an 11. And then 5, 7, 8. And then, you know, a 3 and a 5 and a 2. So, and then just kind of goes back into you know, the intro again. So nothing too crazy there. Hopefully this helped. Gonna do a couple more riffs for you and see how it goes. All right, the second riff I'm going to show you is from Reapers, and it's sort of like a pre-chorus into the chorus type of riff. I guess you could kind of consider it part of the verse, maybe. I don't know. But it's a pretty cool riff. cool riff. We're in drop D again, and you're starting on an open E or an open D, and you're going to a 5 and a 3 on the A string, and then an open A, then to a 3, back to that open A again. And then you're going to a 5 on the D and a 3 on the D as well. So the only notes you really have to worry about are a 0, 3, 5 on the D string and a 0, 3, 5 on the A string. And that second time around, you're not doing that open D, you're just starting on that 5. So that first part goes, and then second part is, and then it kind of goes into that chord part, which I guess you can play a couple different ways. You can do just a 3 and a 5 on the A and the D, and then up to a 4 and a 6, but I kind of like to add in that 3 and a 4 on the low D string, so just kind of a combination of chords, I guess. So hopefully that's not too hard to figure out. I mean, I know I'm not explaining it super well. Then it goes into the chorus riff, which is pretty simple. It's just doing a 3 and a 5 and pretty easy rhythm, and then a 2 and a 3, and you want to kind of cut that off quick because I think it's only like the last chorus that you're actually doing anything more than just drawing it out, because you're going like, that's in the last chorus. So in like the first couple choruses, you just want to, you know, slide it out, or, you know, just cut it off. So you go from that 3, the 2 and the 3, and then you go up to a 9 and a 10 on that same string, or you can go up to a 2 and a 3 on the A string. I just feel like it sounds a little closer to the album if you go up to the 9 and the 10. And then you go back to the 3 and a 5, and but that changes a little bit, and then it goes to a power chord on the 3, 3, 3, and then a 2, 2, 2. So altogether it goes like this. And then it just repeats. So it's a fun riff. Hopefully I explained it well enough. I know I didn't explain it as best as I probably could have with like the faster part. But yeah. Next riff. So this next riff is also in drop D, and it's from the song The Handler, and it's just the intro riff, which is played a couple times through the song, so it's pretty prevalent riff, and it's not too hard for sure. So the song starts off like this. So that's just sliding up to a 12 on that low D string, and then just sliding out. So that fourth time you play it a couple more times, because then you're going into basically the main riff. So that part starts on a 12 again, and then just opens to the open note, and then it goes to a 3, and then to the 7, and then you're doing an 8 and an 8 on the A and the low D string, and then you're doing a 7 and a 7 on that same 2 strings. So and I guess you could do a 5 on the A string if you don't want to slide all the way up here just to start. But doing something like high up on that low string is definitely something that Matt does a lot. So I think it just adds a little bit more fatness to that note, because you know there's definitely a difference between and it's just a little bit fuller, you know. So I mean, it's up to you, but another cool riff. Hopefully I explained it well enough. So yeah. Alright, so this next riff, also in drop D, definitely a common theme for this album. So he's doing a lot of similar stuff to what he's doing in the couple other riffs that I showed you already, but you know, different rhythms, and they're pretty cool. So this is from Defector, and it's another one where you're just sliding up to that 12th fret on the D string, and I'll show you what happens right after that. So this is how it goes, the full thing. So it's definitely got some similarities to the other riffs that I showed you already, but it's definitely unique in its own way. So it's like I said, sliding up to the 12, and depending on the intro versus like how it's going in the rest of like the verses, it's a little different to start. So that first part is just going, but when it's going just through the verse riff, it's going, and from that part it's going to a 6 power chord, so 6 6 6, and then a 7 7 7, and then after doing a few strums on that 7th chord, you're going to power chord on the A, D, and G, which is a what is that, an 8 10 10, and then it's going up to a 9 11 11, and then up once more to 10 12 12. So and then after that it's going, which is just an open, the open note's a quick one, so it's pretty much just leading straight into the 5. So it's 5 7 8, and then back down to the 7. So I'll play the whole thing kind of slow so you can get an idea. So the only thing I didn't really mention the first time is after you do the 7th, the 6 and the 7, I just kind of do like a like a muted chord, or just a couple, and then it goes up to those higher notes. So another cool riff. Hopefully it was easy to figure out. Okay, this is the 7-string part from the Globalist, and it's basically like the whole middle of the song, and it's fucking intense and it's awesome. but it changes a lot. There's not a lot of repetition, so giving you some sort of idea of how to play it, I mean, I'm gonna have to write it down. I mean, I already did write it down, but it takes a little bit to figure the whole thing out. So anyway, I'm in drop A right now. So a normal 7-string is, you know, E to E with the first 6 strings, but it's usually a low B string. But that low B string is tuned down to A. So it's basically like a drop D style. And all you're really doing is just playing on that low B string for the majority of this whole passage. But the very ending has like a lead part over it, which I didn't learn. I just learned the rhythm underneath it, which has some chords to it. So anyway, it starts off on a 12, and basically when I'm referring to these notes, you're going to be playing a lot of open notes in between. So for example, it starts on a 12, but then it does some open notes. And that's sort of the rhythm for like the whole thing. So you're doing a 12 and then a pull off onto the open note, and then you're doing the note again. So for this first part, it goes 12 and then to a 6. And you do that for a little while, I think maybe like 6 or 8 times, and then it goes to a 10 and a 9. So I'm going to be referring to all these parts in basically 2 notes, and those notes will, like I said, have the open note in between it. So when I say 10 and 9, I mean this. I think you get the idea. So after the 10 and the 9, you're going to a 7 and a 5, and then you're going to a 7 and a 12. So that first 7/5 is only played once. And then after that 7/12, you go to a 13 and a 10. You do that twice, and then you go to 12 and 10. And then you go down to a 5 and a 3. And then same thing with the 7 and the 5 going up to the 7/12. You're doing 5/3, then 5/8. Then from there you go back down to the 7 and the 5 again. And then back down to the 5 and the 3. And you're doing a 3 and a 7, and then a 3 and a 9. Then after that, that's when I'm pretty sure the drums start coming in a little bit, and it starts picking up a little bit, and it goes to back to the 10 and the 9, and then to the 7/5, 7/12 again. And then after that, the 13/10 and the 12/10 again. And then you do the 5/3, 5/8. And then back to the 7/5. And this part you're going 7/5 and then 5/3, and then I'll show that part first. So yeah, after it does the, you go to 7/5. And at this part, that's where you can kind of hear in the background the woman counting down, and you do the same 3, 7, 3, 9 again. that's when it gets really big, and like everybody comes in, it goes like this. It just does the beginning part again. And it goes to a 13-10. And I don't remember if you do that twice or 4 times, but then that's when he does like a little lead solo with like a whatever the hell he's doing. Because like I said, I didn't learn that part, but the chords underneath that are pretty simple. It's just an open A, then you go to 2, then 3, then 5, and then it goes to an open A again, then 2 and 3, and then you go to the 4, and it just kind of builds up until it finally ends on that 5. So, like I said, I know that part is kind of hard to figure out just from me talking about it, but I'll write the tabs in there. You know, I wasn't going to, but you know, there's no way of really doing this easily without just sitting down and writing it like I did. So let me play the whole thing through, and yeah, I'll actually play along. I can't play the song in the video, unfortunately, because of copyright shit. I know that there would be a copyright problem on here, but I'm just going to connect this my headphones just straight to my computer and just play it like that so you can hear it. Let's see. That didn't work. Oh, because I didn't even put it in the right hole. Always put it in the right hole. See if I fuck it up. It's coming up right now. So there you go. Like I said, it's hard to remember everything, and it's hard to really know where it's going. But if you have something in front of you telling you where to play, I guess it's not that bad. So anyway, That's about it for this video, and hope you liked learning these riffs. Like I said, I'll put the tabs for everything on there, just because I know I didn't explain some of the parts that well. So anyway, hope you enjoyed, and let me know what you think. See you later.